Hey people, it's me again. So, anyways, I haven't been doing any videos on YouTube in a while, simply because after my whole problems with like YouTube last year, with how fucked up the YouTube copyright system is, and how now they're having like all these secret deals with UMG they that they don't honor like counter notices anymore. So there's basically some of my YouTube poop is like still missing as far as that goes. Even though it's pretty much perfectly fair use as far as that goes, but pretty much. But as far as with like the latest shit that's going on with like YouTube, with the new comments, from video responses, and all this other stuff, I think it's. I guess they say that maybe it's just time when that now like YouTube has basically jumped the shark at least, and that we're heading into this point where people who have been like loyal fans of YouTube are probably going to start to leave YouTube out of all the frustration and all this kind of crazy shit that's going on with YouTube and all. I mean, I left last year as far as that goes. I mean, although I still watch videos on YouTube, but I just don't really like posting any videos on YouTube anymore. As far as that goes, because I just find it pretty frustrating as far as all these crazy changes, But I think it's just that Google just doesn't listen to those users anymore. I'm beginning to think that maybe they haven't really listened to begin with as far as that goes. But honestly, I mean, I hate having to say this as far as what's most likely going to happen on YouTube. It's just that within maybe like a year or 2 years or whatever, I don't know how long it will probably take, but at some point, YouTube is just going to become unpopular, and it's just going to become like MySpace now. Like how nobody really uses MySpace anymore, and I don't even use MySpace anymore. I mean, I was like on MySpace from like back in its heyday, back in '05, and I pretty much stopped using it around like '08, I think. Maybe around like the end of '07, start of '08 when I stopped using it, because that's when Facebook had started to become more popular. But I've been watching videos on YouTube since its early days, and then I had like an account since one of my original accounts was back when I was like back in '06, I think, when I made my account there, but I didn't start doing videos on YouTube until like '07, I think. And then as far as like my whole hobby with like the YouTube poop, I started doing that around '08, but I didn't do it like regularly until like the end of, I think it was like around summer of '09, or like right around this time in '09 when I started doing it in a regular process, where I kept doing all these weird versions of the Super Mario Brothers show, and then they had like a messed up version of the Cookie Monster, and I think one of my highlights as far as one of the YouTube poops that I made was like a messed up version of the Trollolo guy, and then as well as like the Rebecca Black's Friday song, And then I think in some ways that maybe it was partially because of like me getting sick last year, and it was also might have been the copyright problems. But I don't think it was also the fact that I think I just kind of gotten bored of doing the YouTube poop, and that I kind of really wanted to have more views besides like the YouTube poop. But then when I did just regular blog posts, it's just I don't get really that much views for some reason, and maybe it's just I don't really talk the way or do the way how some people want. as far as that goes, or it's just simply other things, you know. But it mainly, when I usually do like the video blogs, it's just merely I'm not really wanting to have like an audience anyways. It's just merely me of having a video journal as far as for the most part, you know. Although as far as if anybody wanted to know, as far as whatever happened to me and that sort of thing, you know, that I am like still making videos. It's just not on YouTube anymore. I'm on Vimeo as far as that goes. I mean, sure that as far as Vimeo is a bit limited as far as that goes for a free account and all. But if I had the money to kind of pay for like a plus account, and I can do more stuff on it. You know, I'd have like unlimited HD videos instead of just having it like only limited to 1 week or so, you know. But as I kind of said so many times, like on Vimeo, that I do enjoy the fact that you don't have to deal with these kind of problems of like how it is with like YouTube. I mean, I first saw like Vimeo maybe about a couple of years ago, and yet it still has like the same kind of format as it is back then. There's not any kind of little crazy little batshit changes, you know, as far as just the whole aesthetic changes, you know, and that all these kind of little annoying little changes that YouTube has that's rolled out like every 3 or 4 months. There's always these crazy format changes, aesthetic changes, taking certain features out, putting certain features in that we don't really need, that we don't really want or need, or whatever it is, you know. And then I figure at this kind of point now is like with DevShell 2's video that I watched recently, that I just think that I agree here is that YouTube is kind of literally burning down their house and shooting themselves in the foot as far as all these crazy little things, you know, and as far as with like Google doing, you know. I don't know whether this is just simply intentional on their part to make YouTube become obsolete, and so they can roll out a new service like Google TV or whatever it is, you know, even though they don't really have like a Google TV yet. I don't know if it's just that's the case here. I mean, but well, it's kind of funny that I'm going around criticizing Google as far as that goes, and here well, technically it's not really Android. I have like a Kindle, which is basically partially Android in a way, but it's basically a forked operating system of Android, you know. But I digress, you know. Although I've pretty much stopped using Google as far as my searching stuff since last year, you know, and then due to all the kind of problems with like YouTube and all that sort of stuff, I pretty much stopped using Google entirely as far as that goes. But I'm just wondering how long it would take for it becomes better before YouTube becomes unpopular, before YouTube becomes the next MySpace and all that. If we have a bunch of people here on YouTube rallying against YouTube's created big changes and all that sort of stuff. Especially what happened about, what was it, like about 6 months ago, when Nintendo became like a partner as far as YouTube, and then they were running around going crazy on the copyright claims and all that, deleting, and then it was affecting a lot of the Let's Players. And in a way, I watch a lot of Let's Player people. I mean, even I can't even remember which one I kind of watched first, but I think, I mean, I've I think it was, keep me in that. I mean, I think it was, I think it was probably like H.C. Bailey and Nintendo Capri Sun and maybe a couple other like users, and then even like Zach Scott Games, I think was one that I kind of stumbled upon last year, as well as Video Games Awesome Live, as far as that goes, was another one that I stumbled upon last year. And in a way, a lot of like the kind of stuff that I've watched was basically for like all the entertainment values, as far as that goes away. Normally do as far as on my computer, on my phone, or on my Kindle, and would be watching a lot of those Let's Play videos and stuff. And not just like Let's Play videos, but then it would be other videos like the Young Turks, or RT America, or the David Pakman Show, and all that kind of stuff there, you know, and yet they're pretty much unaffected by all those kind of things, you know. Although, it was on a couple of days ago, on a story on TechDirt, where it was like the Right Wing Watch, their channel has gone down due to like all these false copyright claims, because some idiot conservative didn't like the criticism there, and they think, oh, why don't I abuse the copyright system there? That'll teach those dirty liberals to criticize me. Yeah. That sort of thing, you know, how it is with some, like, people there on YouTube. And that happened pretty often with people that they would receive false copyright strikes. You know, I pretty much had received maybe a couple of them, as far as that goes, to somebody that filed a false copyright claim, maybe just one time when someone filed a false copyright claim against me. And then I had filed a counter notice, and then they didn't respond, and my video was restored, you know. But mainly, like, I was with, like, the other thing that I said before, that some of the counter notices were, I don't know what it is. I mean, as far as, like, with something like UMG or SME or one of those kind of labels there, you know, that they just didn't really quite understand the word fair use when it comes to it, you know. And then I had like this sort of argument with one of those people on the YouTube forum, maybe about last year, I think. Maybe like last year. And then it was like around a couple months ago when I basically told them off about like that here I kind of got all ready from like the U.S. Copyright Office there, that there was no real way there, and I kind of said like, well, you guys have proved my point, you know, that they don't really know jack shit about copyright as far as that goes, and I expected help from an actual employee of YouTube, not some random user. I wonder how loud do I have to yell and kick and scream in order to get some sort of fucking YouTube employee that's so goddamn elusive to help me with these kind of problems, you know. So I forgot to mention how I got my channel back, as far as that goes from after that. Although I mentioned it to Happy Cabby, I mentioned it to a couple of other people about it, so it was probably back in around April when I found like the Better Business Bureau, and I kind of filed a complaint against YouTube about their copyright policies there. And then as usual, they had like their whole like auto response sort of thing that they like, oh, we're sorry, and I kind of rejected that response, and I kind of said that their copyright system is so bad, that this is sort of the last thing that I'm considering a lawsuit against YouTube. and that I would recommend that they should lose their DMCA safe harbor status. Once the site, like if YouTube loses their safe harbor status, they have to shut down. So I pretty much got them where it is, and so I think some so-called elusive employer must have saw that sort of thing and thought, "Ooh, he must be really serious. Let's restore his account." So that's basically what happened here. So my account has been restored, but yet I still have like the same kind of problems as before. That you can't really get like the counter notices there as far as that goes, because YouTube won't honor them if it was taken down by UMG, which of course was just an erroneous deal there. But I think as far as with like UMG, they kind of wanted this sort of deal because determining fair use on any kind of video is just really too hard for them to figure that out, and they just want to file DMCA takedown notice like crazy, because they think they can do whatever the fuck they want. Don't they realize that there's something called class action lawsuit? That part of it will teach them in a way. Because I've been trying to get some people to join me as far as some sort of class action lawsuit as far as against UMG, as far as any of other little problems with YouTube. I figure if there's any kind of thing that we have to get YouTube fixed, is sort of like suing YouTube as far as that goes. Suing the pants out of Google in some ways to fix their damn site, or otherwise they're going to end up being like MySpace as far as that goes. But anyway, I've been talking too much anyway, so see you guys later.